Om Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll continue with the study of verse number 1.
So shall we chant first 5 verses?
You are chanting?
So it's the recording.
It's a recording. No. Train and come. So, we are studying verse number 1. Bhaja Govindam. The entire knowledge is about teaching us what is the purpose of this study, what is the purpose of this knowledge. The purpose of this knowledge is to expose the uselessness of a set of activities that human beings are engaged and direct it to something which is useful. So the purpose of knowledge is to shift the attention from a useless set of activities to a meaningful activity. What is the useless set of activity and what is the meaningful activity? The useless set of activity is going to call as Kanchana and Kamini. The useful set of activity is Bhaja Govindam. So, two things. What is the useless set of activities that a human being is engaged in right through Kanchana and Kamini? Wealth and women. When we go there, we'll study all that in detail. Distinct and different from that useless set of activity is a useful activity. What is useful activity? Seek the self. Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam can be seen as seeking Vishnu. Vishnu in our language, we understand it as self. Whenever they say seek Vishnu or seek Shiva or seek Ganesha, all that means seek the self. Sometimes Shiva will be used, sometimes Vishnu will be used, sometimes Ganesha will be used, sometimes Father in heaven can be used, sometimes Allah also can be used, doesn't matter. Whatever be the words are, one thing that is common is seek the self. Seek the self. Depending on the master, they have their own words. Depending on the poetry, depending on the situation, they come up with various words. And all these words mean one and the same. And Shankara, in all the works of Shankara, the very first verse of him, in fact, not only Shankara, most of the Vedantic textbooks, the very first verse will be always with prostrating to the Guru. They always start the commentary text offering the prostrations to the Guru. Gaudapada, who writes Karika and Mandukya Upanishad also starts the Karika with prostrating to the Guru. Even though he's saying there is no such thing called Guru, there is no such thing called Sishya and all that, he starts it with prostrating to the Guru. And Shankara's Guru is Govinda Bhagavad Pada. So, by using the word Govinda, he is offering his prostrations to his Guru, at the same time teaching us seek the self. You can even take as seek the Guru. Now again, seeking the Guru means what? Seeking the self, because the Guru is symbolic of the self. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. Mudamate we saw. A fool is a one who thinks he knows when he actually doesn't know. That is the fool. There is a difference between an ignorant person and a foolish person. So Mudamate refers to a foolish person. Ignorant person is plain ignorant. He says, I don't know. But foolish person believes he knows when he actually doesn't know. The second sentence is going to explain all this. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. Last week we said we will read the second line of the verse. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. So seek the self, seek the self, seek the self. Oh fool. You don't need to seek anything at all. If at all you are seeking something, seek the self. The ideal state is not to seek anything. What is there to seek? There's nothing to seek. But the human mind can't stop seeking. It has to keep seeking something. So he says, might as well seek. Since the human mind can't stop seeking, might as well seek the self. Seek the self. Seek the self. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Budhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. Samprapte sannihite kale. Why the person chooses things wrongly? Because the priorities of life is not clear. Intellect is deluded. When the intellect is deluded, they end up in the wrong road. Not having clarity on the means and the end. This is the destination, and which path should I take? Which road should I take to get to the destination? That clarity people don't have. That is why it's called foolish mind. Not only they don't know the means and the end, they are so clear in saying, I know what is important in life. I know what I am doing. That's why he is called a fool. Why he is called a fool? All the materialistic people chasing the world of objects and beings, etc., never have a doubt. Maybe the path that I am taking may not take me to the path that I am taking may not take me to the goal. They are very, very clear. What is it that's why it's called foolish person. Why is called foolish person? They think they have the clarity of the means and the end. End we have seen. What is the end? Peace, security, happiness, freedom. All this is the end. All that you are seeking in life is what? Stability, reliability, permanent anchor, permanent support. These are all the things that is sought, isn't it? What is it that is sought? You want stability. That's why you say first life has to settle, isn't it? Well settled, he says, isn't it? Mom is always saying, what is this well settled? Well settled. Nothing is, meaning seeking stability. So the first thing that is sought in life is stability, reliability. Something that you are depending upon has to be trustworthy, reliable. It has to be available to you, supporting you all the time, isn't it? Srikanth, if you have a support like me, phone adicha edupara matara, we don't know, isn't it? If you call him, you won't know whether he will pick up the phone or not. Even if you send him a message, you will not know whether the reply will come or not. இதெல்லாம் not reliable support, isn't it? You don't want these kind of, you will not want these kind of support in life. You always want a support that is reliable. You always want a support that is permanent. You want something that is where you can anchor yourself. All these are the end. What is the means? Person not having clarity to the means and the end is called Mudha Mate. Why is a foolish person? Because he thinks he knows. He doesn't come and clarify. He doesn't come and ask anybody. Is this the road that will lead me to the destination? Not only he is very clear, and he drags the whole lot also into that path. Again, are you able to follow what is foolish person means? Not only he is clear, he will drag the entire parivar also into that, isn't it? He will drag the entire family into that. He will drag the whole lot into that. Why? Because he thinks he knows when he actually doesn't know. That is samprapte, Mudha Mate. Now comes samprapte sannihite kale. The Lord Brahman, here Govinda, Vishnu symbolically, is called Kala Kalaha. God is always defined as Kala Kalaha. Kala Kalaha means one who can destroy time. Time destroys everything. Time takes away everything. Time loots away everything. Imagine if somebody can loot time. If somebody can kill the time. Somebody can conquer time. Killing time, now we also want to kill time, isn't it? Not that way. Somebody who is not a victim of time. And what is this time? When death approaches, they say, Yama will not come directly. He will send his for Yama to come directly, you should have become a for Yama to come and take you, you should become one who is mastered dharma, one who has lived dharma. For that person only Yama will come. Ellarkulla Yama will not come from Subramaniam. Death nale Yama la varmatar. Yama will not come for everybody. Yama will send his parivar only. Yama will come only for the very few reserved people. நம்மெல்லாம் அந்த கேட்டகரியில இல்லை. So let us not bother about. So since we don't belong to that category, Yama will not come to us. Then who will come? இன்னைக்கு கொஞ்ச நேரம் Yama பத்தி கூட பேசலாம். Because today's Diwali day, no? Yama Deepa has to be lit yesterday. Yama Deepa has to be lit today. Nobody even knows all that, isn't it? Yeah, Diwali na. Yesterday Yama Deepa has to be lit. This evening also Yama Deepa has to be lit and where you have to light it? Room lo puja with room to bulb irukudadu, isn't it? Not that. You have to take a big, like a pot, like the pot lid kind of a clay thing they have. They put oil in that and they have like a strong wick and they'll place it on right on the rooftop. That is called Yama. That's called Yama Deepa. That's how Diwali has to be. Diwali has to be celebrated like yesterday Yama Deepa, today Yama Deepa, tomorrow moon nal Yama Deepa vacha, Yama will come to you. Now, if you don't even know that Yama Deepa has to be kept, who will come? Yeah. No, sir, but crackers we are bursting, new clothes we are buying, crackers we are bursting, all that Diwali only we are celebrating. What is the third thing? Dantreya. What is that called? அதுக்கு என்னமா பேரு? Dantreya, no? If you go and buy gold today, throughout the year, Kanakadara gold will be rain, it will rain gold in your house. No, sir. அது என்ன trading அது? 1 hour they do trading. What is the trading called? Shankar. அது என்னமோ trading வேற பண்ணுவாங்க, isn't it? Because auspicious day, 1 hour of trading has to be done. Yama Deepa tavara we do, instead of Yama Deepa, we do everything else. Appadi panna, what will happen? Samprapte Sannihite Kale. Are you able to understand? You will story to explain what is Samprapte Sannihite Kale. Muhurta trading. Nalla muhurtam to trade, isn't it? Gambling kuda nalla muhurtam paathu dhaan we will gamble, isn't it? இதெல்லாம் Dukran Karnele, we will see all that. When you go to what is Dukran Karne, we are going to study that in Dukran Karne. So, first we will study Samprapte Sannihite Kale. So what happens at the time of death? Yama will not come. Then who will come? So it is very clear, it is established Yama is not going to come. Okay, if Yama is not going to come, then who will come? Shankaracharya has written again lot of Ashtakams. One of the Ashtakam is called Shiva Shankara Ashtakam. In the Shiva Shankara Ashtakam, he says, what will happen? Who will come? Fearsome servants of Yama will come. And when the fearsome servants of Yama come, how will they come? They will speaking very harsh, wearing wheels, torturing you greatly, they will take you. Because when the master comes, everybody behaves. If the master is not there, when the servant becomes a master, how will the servant behave? How the servant will behave? Master is not there, servant is sent, and when the servant comes, how the servant will behave? After that, he will behave. Correct? No? How he will behave? He is in bower. And when he drags you, they will speak very harshly, they will speak. They will not speak very harshly. They will tell you what all you have been doing in your life. That you will hear it as very harsh. It will be very harsh to you. So they will tell you what all you have been doing in life, because you keep asking them, why are you dragging me like this? Why are you torturing me like this? For which the Yama servant will say, they will speak very harsh words, wearing wheels, torturing you. They drag you. At that point of time, you will scream. At that point of time, you will scream. What you will scream? There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, sir. Yam yam yapi smaran bhavam. Remember that verse? Yam yam yapi smaran bhavam. Meaning, last minute you call my name, that is enough. That's how people literally translate that verse. So, in the last minute, when Yama's servants are dragging you harshly and making you cry, at that point of time, remembering me is of no use. Sannihite. Sannihita means sannidhi. Sannidhi means proximity. Samprapte sannihite kale. Sannihita means proximity. When Yama comes in close proximity to you, how you will feel? In the sannidhi of God, you will feel. In the proximity of God, you will feel. You are supposed to feel divine, safe, secure. In the proximity of Yama, how you will feel? Isn't it? Proximity of Yama means what? He has come to take you, Nartha, isn't it? Proximity of Yama means he has come to take you. At that point of time, what will happen? Hands will shiver, leg will shiver, none of the prana will want to leave the body, and it will hold on to the body tightly. Nothing will happen. They drag you. How will a Dharmatma welcome Yama? That also the Shastra speaks. The Shastra says how you should die. Oh my God. Who has died like that? I don't know. They say how you should die. When you know your death is approaching you, you'll become unconscious first. When you know death is approaching you, what will happen to you? You'll become unconscious, faint. That's why most of it happens in the ICU unconsciously, isn't it? No death is happening in the way it ought to be. No death happens in the way it ought to happen. So, okay. How you should die? The person who knows their death is approaching, they should have a bath. Who? The dying person should have a bath. Where the Pundarika, according to your denomination, where the Pundarika, have some Tulsi, have 2-3 Ganges, a few drops of Ganges water, and start chanting the Lord's name. That's how you are supposed to. If you are doing like that, Yama will come. If you are not dying like that, who will come? Yama servants, Yama Dhuta will come. Yama servants will come. And when they come, they will treat you harshly. They will do every. Now, don't take all this too literally. What it means is that which you cherish, that which is valuable to you, that which is so meaningful to you is slipping in front of your hands. You are losing it right in front of you. You are losing it. What is your mental state? That is death. Are you able to follow? Don't take it as the literal physical death. What it means is something that is meaningful to you. Something that is meaningful to you, something that which you cherish, nourish, value, where you have put your whole life investment in that. They say, I put all my eggs in one basket, sir. My entire commitment I put here. Okay, very good. But what you didn't realize is there is Yama, no? In every commitment that you put, in every egg that you put, there is one Yama waiting. And Yama here means what? Time. Yama here means time. That's why another name for Yama we have seen any number of times. Another name for Yama is called Kala. Kala means black. Kala means time also. Meaning time loots away everything. It takes away everything. Takes away everything means how much ever you try to hold on to, it goes. It's natural, it has to go. It is beautiful only because it is going. If it is stuck, it becomes plastic. There will not be anything attractive, meaningful at all in it. So it has to It has to move. It has to move. A person who has invested heavily in that, the loss will suffer. And we have invested heavily in mundane activities. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. Are you able to follow? You will do something that is meaningful. You will hold on to it, nourish it, cherish it, put your entire life on it. Yama comes and takes it away. Nahi nahi rakshati. Nahi nahi rakshati. Nahi nahi rakshati means they are not going to save you. They are not going to save you. That is why in Kathopanishad, Yama gives the touchstone. Any number of times I have given this touchstone and we will not remember it. So I'm giving it. I'm giving the touchstone again. What is the touchstone? Any time in life you say, this is mine, remember Yama. Any time in life you say, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, remember Yama. Why? Because Yama says this very clearly. What does Yama say very clearly? Whatever is useful at the time of death is wisdom. Whatever is useless at the time of death is useless. Again, death is the criterion. When you are drowning, what will help you? When you are drowning, swimming alone will help you. Not everything else. You are drowning. Many a times you have drowned and you don't even remember many a times you have drowned. That is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, which we are going to study later in the same text. Many a times you have drowned and you don't remember how many times you have been drowning, and you will be drowned, you will come back. You will get drowned, you will come back. You will get, but one thing that you will not do is what? You will not do the right thing. One thing that a human being will not do is the right thing. So what? All that you have is of no help to you when Yama approaches you, death approaches you. Keep this as a touchstone. Keep this as a touchstone. Whatever is useless and deceptive at the time of death, whatever is useless at the time of death is deceptive now. Remember that. Whatever is useless at the time of death is deceptive now. Muda mate, because everybody falls for this deception. And how many ever times we keep hearing it again and again and again, we still keep falling for this deception. Easy to get deceived when you are living. Impossible to deceive in death. That's why in the Vedic, in the Vedantic thing, we have a lot of value for Lord Yama. Lord Yama is called Kala. Lord Yama is called Dharma also. Because you can go on deceiving when you are alive, you can go on deceiving. But one place where your deceptions won't work is death. Samprapte sannihite kale. Samprapte sannihite kale means if you do not know how to escape, if you do not know how to escape. And the way to escape is what? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. If you want to escape the deception, what you should do now? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. seek the self, remember the self, seek the self, remember the self, seek the self. Bhaja, constantly remember, worship, keep worshipping, keep remembering, keep worshipping the divine, keep remembering the divine. To an extent where in your dreams also worship should come. In your dreams also you should be doing puja. It means you are in a very good level of growth. In dreams also what you should end up doing? In dreams also you should do, you should chant Sahasranama. Bhaskar, imagine in the dreams also you are doing Sandhya Vandanam. How it will be? Huh? You go to dream, in the dream what you are doing? You are doing Sandhya Vandanam. I don't know how many times I have got dreams like this. Even then I'll be, you wake up, I think, oh, anyway, it's done there. No, no, why do it now? Isn't it? It has to go so deep that the remembrance is so constant. The remembrance is so constant. That is called Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Seek the self, seek the self, seek the self. If not, samprapte sannihite kale. Samprapte sannihite kale. What is the samprapte sannihite kale means? Yama takes away from you and you'll go through the agony of losing and you will restart all over again to lose it. Right. You will go through the agony and pain of losing it. What you will do again? You will restart the entire process of creating another agony for yourself. So what is human being's life? You do actions in particular way that it will result in agony and pain and suffering. You will go through the agony, pain and suffering. And then what will you do? Get up again and prepare yourself for another round of agony, pain and suffering. So this cycle keeps continuing. This is called Samprapte Sannihite Kale. Nahi nahi rakshati. Nahi nahi rakshati means it is not going to save you. It is not going to save you. Save you from what? Save you from deception. Always remember, the destructive force is self-deception. That is what destroys you. Deceiving not anybody outside. It is self-deception. What is self-deception? I know what I am doing. I know what I am doing. I know what I am doing is the deception. But sir, 95% of the time we all know what we are doing, no? That knowing is destruction. That knowing causes your destruction. It means what? We have to keep cross-checking all the time. What is the answer? Yes, you have to keep cross-checking. With whom? Tasmat Shastram Pramanamte. Tasmat, that's why the Shastram is given to you. That's why the knowledge is given to you. Keep referring to it. Keep this as the touchstone. Like the goldsmith carries the touchstone, you should carry this touchstone of knowledge. And anything that you encounter, if you want to test it, rub against this touchstone. That's what the goldsmith does, no? Wherever he goes, he'll carry this touchstone. So any metal that he comes in contact with, he will rub it and then he'll say, this is not gold. This is not gold. Similarly, carry this touchstone. And what is the touchstone? Yama is the touchstone. Yama means death. Death means change. Death means change. Change means insecure. Again, Yama means death. Death means change. Change means insecurity. Are you able to follow? That is why the world is causing insecurity, and we believe that using our intelligence, we can somehow escape. Somehow we can make the insecure secure. The world is not causing insecurity. World is designed to keep changing. The human being not accepting it is the cause for insecurity. Always remember, the world doesn't cause insecurity. The world is designed to be that way. How the world is designed? To change. Since the human mind is not prepared for this, this causes insecurity. This causes insecurity. Kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantaraf praptihi dhirastatra namuhyati. Atmabodhava. Don't say yes, Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it? Bhagavad Gita. Shochanun vashochastvam prajnavadamsya bhashase gatasuna gatasoscha nanushocanti panditaha tatvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha ataivana bhavishyamaha sarve emataf param. Vasamsi, what all he spoke. Verses 11 to 30. Chapter 2. That is the touchstone. What is the touchstone? That verses are the touchstone that you should remember always to see anything that your mind is getting attracted to, anything that your mind is feeling meaningful, useful, immediately what you should remember? 11 to 30. Narayana. That's why I told you by heart that, no? You should remember that? Correct. He by-hearted, and he showed me also that he by-hearted. I'm just checking whether he still remembers it or not. Remember that. 11 to 30. 11 to Kaumaram yavvanam jara. Tata dehantaraf praptihi. Deha antara prapti. And tat dhiras tatra namuhyati. Why? Because they understood this is the nature of the life. Insecurity is because of your non-acceptance of the fact. And what is this? All that is created will go through wear and tear. Correct? All that is produced, all that is created will go through wear and tear. Every day you can wash the car. Once a week you can vacuum the car. You can do everything. But wear and tear will happen. Isn't it? Body is produced. Body is created. So naturally what will happen to the body? Wear and tear. Isn't it? First wear and tear will happen. And then you will somehow try to preserve it. And then somehow you will try to preserve it. And how much ever you try to preserve it, isn't it? Old age is long period of time. Youthhood is only for 2-3 years, isn't it? Supposing if youthhood is for 78 years and old age is only for 2-3 years, how nice it will be. But life is not like that. Old age goes on for 30-40 years and youthhood is only for how many years? Few years. Even at that time, you are not allowed to enjoy anything, isn't it? Even at that time, you are not allowed to do anything, don't enjoy anything. And then all the preparation is for enjoyment in old age. And when old age comes, actually, you can never ever enjoy anything. Samprapte sannihite kale. Remember this as the touchstone. What is the touchstone? What is the touchstone? Now comes a beautiful example he's giving. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karne. Now, this dukran karne is a very symbolic. Dukran karne is a formula in Panini's grammar. A very beautiful formula. See, like for example, to master any grammar will take janmas. And Sanskrit grammar, many janmas it will take. Because the verbs, jugglery, dhatupata. Dhatupata means verbal root. And Sanskrit has about 3,300 roots. 3,300 roots. So people come and ask me, sir, if we study Sanskrit, we can understand scriptures easier. No, I said, what? Are you going to study 3,300 verbal roots? To study 3,300 verbal roots and understand that, you should have studied at least 30 years before. You can't go to language school, a, I, u, r, gr, I am gajaha, I am ajaha, I am gajaha, and then you think you know Sanskrit, Ganesh. If you learn Sanskrit, varadhu. Yeah, Sanskrit will not come. Sanskrit will not come like that. Why? Because this Dhatupata, the Sanskrit is so difficult it is. Grammarian, 90-year-old grammarian, he is still trying to remember because how to remember the 3,300 roots? For example, when we discussed Govinda, the roots of the word go, how many roots we gave? 6 roots we gave. Like, actually, we only gave a sample of that. We can go much. If you really go, if you really start studying, you can go that deeper. You can go that much deeper. You can go that much deeper. Now, what has happened is, in that Kashi river banks, Shankara saw this grammarian still battling with this Dhatupata. Dukran karne. Karne comes from the root kr. The root is kr. Karoti, kurutaha, kurvanti, karoshi, kuruvantaha. It goes on and on and on like that. From the root word kr comes karma, and karma means actions. Karma means the consequence of action. Karma means the law, cause and effect. Now all comes from one root called kr. என்னைக்கு இதெல்லாம் படிக்கிறது? When do we study all this? How do we understand all this? Unless you started from a very, very young age, and you can start at a very young age, but you may not develop a taste for it. Yeah, you may not develop a taste for it, isn't it? Why my father thought I should study in that school, it's still a mystery for me. He went and put me in that school. My brother and my sister, they both went to school. I went to torture. They went to school. I went to torture. They will walk. From the house, they will walk. 5 minutes to the school, they will walk. School is over 3:30. They'll come back at 3:35. If they start playing at 3:45, they can play till 6:45. By the time I come home from the school, it is 7 o'clock. Isn't it? No. I used to go and ask him, I thought maybe they picked me up from roadside, some dustbin, they would have picked me up. That's why this ill. Everything you have to study in Sanskrit. See, Sanskrit itself you have to study. And then science you have to study in Sanskrit. Mathematics also they will teach you in Sanskrit. Now, you come home. Now, how many languages you have to speak now? English also you have to speak. In Sanskrit also you have to think. And in Tamil you speak. And then you have to see Rajinikanth movies. And in that movie, Tamil languages. And in that movie, Tamil language is very different. So how will you not go? So it used to be so interesting, the Sanskrit. Oh my God, that language, I tell you, is so beautiful, so beautiful. So you can't get anything more intoxicating than that. People talk about drugs. All of them are only so grossly. This is so intoxicating at the level of the intellect, where you can just take one word kr and go into so many explanations. Take just one word go, not even gava, go. That's all. Govinda, from that root go into that. So obviously, even at the age of 90, the person will feel, I have not mastered language. Bhaskar, புரியுதா? இதுதான் டுக்ரன் கர்ணி, isn't it? Verbs differ according to number, person, tense. Sanskrit grammar. Verbs differ according to number. Number na singular, dual, plural. Person na first person, second person, third person. And then masculine, feminine, and then napumsaka linga, the third linga. From where that comes, God only knows, isn't it? Sanskrit grammar has the third thing. Masculine, feminine is understandable. They come in with the third thing, napumsaka linga. So the number, the person, the linga, and then the tense. Tense in a past, present, future. Today's past. Grammar has today's past. 9 definitions for today's past. Again, 9 definitions for yesterday's past. Again, 9 different roots for remote past. 9 into 9 into 9 போடுங்க. One word வச்சுக்கிட்டு just that one root have so much of elaboration. இது past order. Future வேற இருக்குது. Future, immediate future, later future, yuga future. Based on all this, only the concept of time, yuga, all that came. From where do you think all this came? Not just somebody's fancy, not somebody's fantasy. This is some number, all that. You remember this, to master Sanskrit language will take few janmas. Now, what happened in Dukran Karne now? What happened to this? Hello. A grammatical jugglery that this word should be interpreted like this word should not be interpreted like this, and the fight of interpretation distracts the person from the essence of the Shastra. All this is so meaningful, all this is very essential. The knowledge of Sanskrit grammar is highly desirable for the study of Vedas and Vedanta. It is desirable, but not essential. Remember that. It is desirable, not essential. Because supposing there are people who doesn't know Sanskrit language at all, can't they not achieve enlightenment? Of course, they can also attain enlightenment. But the advantage of Sanskrit grammar and the study and all that is what? It is so well created. It is so well made. That's why the very meaning of the word is Sanskrit. So, okay. English, what is the meaning? You will say language. What is the meaning of the word English? We are all talking in English, no? What is the meaning of the word English? English is not language, sir. That's not the meaning. Sanskrit. The meaning of the word Sanskrit is well crafted, well made, well designed. So the name itself, the word itself has a name. Well crafted, well designed, well made. For what? To communicate the highest. So the ability to communicate the highest, the ability to strengthen the intellect, to go very penetratively deep, all that is meaningful. Where comes is this. Elsewhere, another Acharya gives his example of this Dukran Karne like this. I heard it long back and I thought it's a very good way of putting it. He said, rules of grammar is like plant and leaf for the food. Rules of grammar is like plant and leaf for the food. You understand plant and leaf for food? You don't eat the leaf. that leaf is very meaningful, very thing, but at one it has to be used and it has to be thrown away too. This man started using it and got so addicted to it, refusing to throw it away. Are you okay till now? Dukran karne means. Now what he is saying is, Dukran karne doesn't mean the rules of grammar. Dukran karne means the whole lot of activities that a human being is engaged till the last breath of his life. So it is not only the grammar, it's not only the Sanskrit grammar, it's not only that. Now what does it mean? The human mind being so addicted to the useless knowledge. Useful knowledge and useless knowledge. Material knowledge is very useful for a livelihood. Remember that. Material knowledge is very useful for a livelihood. Dukran karne means material knowledge, that which results in mundane activities. Are you able to follow now? So Dukran karne means material knowledge. Material knowledge means that which helps you in mundane activities. And what is that mundane activity? A livelihood. Seeking a livelihood is a very mundane activity. But seeking a livelihood and spending the whole lifetime in earning that livelihood will not help you. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati. Are you able to connect now? The Dukran karne will not help you when nahi rakshati. When samprapte sannihite kale. It means what? The material knowledge is useful for a livelihood. Material knowledge is useful for satisfying curiosity. See, material knowledge is useful for satisfying curiosity. Newspaper is useful for satisfying curiosity. Anginnache, inginnache, isn't it? Yeah. Pakat veetla ennache, gossip. Ade newspaper la padicha, general knowledge, isn't it? What happened in the next house, if you ask, that is gossip. Same thing you buy in a newspaper and read it in a newspaper, that is called? Sir, we should know what is happening. Generally, we should know, no, sir. Then you will give it a name called general knowledge. Curiosity. What is the curiosity? Wanting to, general curiosity of wanting to know what is happening around. Okay, you know everything that is happening around. You have earned a livelihood and you have learned, you know everything that is happening around you. Ambrapte sannihite kale. At that moment, which is going to be the critical moment of your life, will all this save you? Can you say, Ram Subramaniam, 75 years, I have read the Hindu paper without a break. Only when they don't release a newspaper, I don't read. Otherwise, I read every day. Yamaduta will turn back and ask you, Sahasranama, how many times? A Hindu newspaper, you read every day. Instagram post, you have been posting and watching everybody's post. Facebook also, you are posting and watching everybody's post and forwarding also. இல்லையா? முதல்ல நீங்க போஸ்ட் போடணும், அப்புறம் அடுத்தவங்க போஸ்ட படிக்கணும், அப்புறம் மீனிங்ஃபுல் போஸ்டா இருந்தா அதை ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணணும். ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்ணலன்னா, if you don't forward it in 10 minutes, இல்லையா, ரத்தம் கக்குவாங்களா? Isn't it? If you don't forward it in 10 minutes, you will die. What all? Yamaduta will ask you. Yamaduta will ask you, okay, you did all this, but Sahasranama, how many times you chanted? That day, 5 times I chanted Sahasranama. Come now. This will be this is what will, that will not save you. The most critical moment of your life, the most important moment of your life, which can happen anytime, What have you done towards that? Nothing you have done. Example of that is Dukran Karne. Example of this way of life is called Dukran Karne. Are you able to follow? Why he is talking Dukran Karne? Because for the scholar, grammar is his thing. Supposing if Shankara has seen a scientist, he would have used some other word. If he had seen a business person, he would have used a different word. So don't take it literally as though only the Sanskrit grammar. Don't take it literally like that. It so happened that he met that person. So இன்னைக்கு யாராவது பார்த்தா சங்கரா என்ன போடுவாரு, Instagram post போடாதீங்கன்னு வரும், isn't it? The number of time you spend thinking about the Instagram post, do Sarasara Nama, do Sandhya Vandana, do your Nitya Anushtana, do your study every day, do all that. And by the time you finish all that, where will you have time for all this? But sir, this is also very important to live life, no? We should know what is happening around us, no? What will happen around you? Whatever is happening in your house is what will happen outside also. What is there to specially to know, isn't it? Isn't it? This is where we think. What is happening in your house is what is happening everywhere. இதுல ஸ்பெஷல்லா என்ன இருக்கு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. Same agony, same fight, same frustration, same lack of எல்லாம் same thing. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukran karne. So Dukran Karne is not only the rules of grammar, not only the language, not only that, it means what? Close down the book of material knowledge and turn the mind towards self. Close down that book. Close that book and open a new book. What is that new book? Bhaja Govindam is the new book. Close that book and open this book. Objectively, can we do both, sir? Bhaskar. Objectively, can we do both? Is it possible? You will be very objective to Brahman and you will be fully involved with the world. Ulta wide. You should be very objective to the world and be fully passionate about Brahman. But what will happen? You will be very objective to Brahman and you will be very passionate about the world. Therefore, he says, Dukran Karne means the highest material physical knowledge. Any knowledge other than Brahma Vidya doesn't, at the appointed time, does not help you. Symbolic of that is Dukran Karne. So now you understand. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati Dukran Karne. Instead of the beauty of it is, who's saying it is the beauty? World has not seen a grammarian like Shankara. World has not seen a person who can interpret and write bhashyas like Shankara. And he is saying, nahi rakshati Dukran Karne. Meaning, you should know how much to use it, how much to let go of, when to let go of it. It is useful for develop a conviction in the Shastram as the Pramanam. Carefully follow. All this knowledge is very useful. Up to what extent? Shastram is the Pramanam. After that, you just read to the Shastra and just follow whatever the Shastra says. After that, why do you have to worry about all these details? You follow? But all this is necessary to develop conviction in Shastram as the Pramanam. Today, how much ever we study, we hear, we do things, Shastra is still to become the Pramanam. Knowledge is not yet to the Pramanam. Pramanam means the ultimate authority, the only authority. Pramanam means the one and only authority. That's called Pramanam. For color and form, Pramanam is eyes, the one and only authority. How to conduct your life, how to live your life, what you should do and what you should not do in life. The one and only pramanam is Shastram, Vedas, Vedanta. But sir, why do you have to be so fanatic, sir? Why do we have to be so fanatic? Vedanta say, where is fanaticism in this? It's like saying color and form can be known through the ears also. Why are we so fanatic that we only want to use the eyes? Why can't we use the ears also? For what? For color and form? You can use, but what you are seeing will not be. Are you able to follow? Therefore, all this is meaningful to up to what extent? Pramanam. See, like for example, you do all the inquiries about the doctor, whom to go, whom not to go, etc. All that before going. Having gone and you got the prescription, what you should not do? You should not cross-check the prescription. Before you take the prescription, you should do all that. After getting the prescription, what you should not do? Anga poi cross-check pannave kudadu, isn't it? That is why it's called pramanam. That's why it's called pramanam. Pramanam means you don't cross-check the prescription. Now, whom do you cross-check with? One blind person will necessarily cross-check with another blind person only, isn't it? Who will you cross-check with? When one child has a problem, it will go to another child only seeking for a solution, isn't it? It will not go to the wise person. When one child has a problem, it will go to another child. That's why they say, I discussed it with my friends. I'm sure. And you hear that I discussed it with my friends, you feel like giving? You feel like giving 1 to the child and 2 to the friend who guided the child. Isn't it? What do you do? Pramanam. So, samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukran karne. Now the whole verse as the chorus. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bodhamate, samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukran karne. So, dukran karne here is a symbolic representation of all worldly activities. Not to be taken literally as seeking or discussing the grammar. It is inappropriate to spend the whole lifetime on apara vidya. That's what he's saying. Mundaka Upanishad talks about 2 types of knowledge, paravidya and aparavidya. Mundaka says, nahi rakshati. At that time, it will not save you. See, we all seek knowledge for saving ourselves, for protecting ourselves. You gain a knowledge and that knowledge is not going to save you, protect you, then what is it called? Are you able to follow? We seek knowledge for what? We want to gain knowledge. We want to seek knowledge for what? For protection. And you gain the knowledge and that knowledge is not going to protect you. Human being has to seek knowledge because human beings are ignorant. They're able to recognize their ignorance. So they seek knowledge. They have to gain vidya, knowledge. And that knowledge is of 2, paravidya and aparavidya. Mundaka Upanishad, distinction, paravidya and aparavidya. The 4 Vedas, the Vedangas, all this is aparavidya. Paravidya is knowledge of your true nature. That is Paravidya. Dve vidye veditavye, he says. Mundaka says. Dve vidye means there are these two types of knowledge. Parachaiva, paracha. Parachaiva, paracha means Sanskrit grammar you have to split. Para cha eva, apara cha eva. Parachaiva, paracha. So you'll be hearing para para only twice. In the way it is chanted, you'll be hearing only para para. Now where is apara? That's where Sanskrit grammar comes. You have to split it. Para cha eva, apara cha eva. If you split it into two, then you get this para and apara. Tatra para. Tatra para means tatra apara. Tatra para. Na chanting it looks like they are defining paravidya. But then we are calling it as aparavidya. Now how do tatra paracha? Tatra apara. That tatra and a when it combines in chanting, it becomes tatra para. Tatra apara. Rigvedo, Yajurvedo, Samavedo, Tarvana Vedaha, Siksha, Kalpo, Vyakarno, Nirikto, Chando, Jyotishamiti. All this is aparavidya. If this is aparavidya, lower knowledge, inferior knowledge, then what is superior knowledge? The knowledge by which you know yourself. Aparavidya. Paravidya. It is inappropriate to spend whole life on aparavidya. That's what he said. It is useless. It is inappropriate spending the entire lifetime on aparavidya. Why do you want to do that? That's what he's asking. Spending your entire life on aparavidya, which includes the knowledge of the shastras, etc., is like you are so constantly cooking, no time to eat. You cook for what? Cooking is meaningful when? Only when you can sit and eat. You are so occupied in cooking and you are dying of starvation. Does it have any sense? Does it make any sense? That's what he says. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yam yapi smaran bhavam. All these verses comes in Bhagavad Gita. Whosoever leaving the body remembering me attains my being. Na atra na samshayaha. Chapter 8, verse 5. 2 years back we studied, isn't it? That's why in Sanskrit we said no immediate past, remote past, past, I don't know what all permutation combination they come up with. What is paravidya? Aparavidya, tatra para, rigvedo, yajurvedo, samavedo, atharvana vedaha, siksha, kal, all that we have defined aparavidya. Now, what is paravidya? Paravidya definition 1, you have to go to Kenopanishad. Yat vachanabhyuditham yena vagabhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. To know what is paravidya, this is the definition of paravidya. So aparavidya is very meaningful in giving a delusive appearance of safety and security. Aparavidya gets you into the deluded notion of safety and security. What makes a person get into this delusion? Kanchana Kamini, verse number 2, verse number 3, which we will start next week. Verse number 2, wealth. Verse number 3, women. Wealth and women. When we go there, we'll discuss that in detail. But all human beings has a delusion about these two. What is a delusion? Knowledge is to remove delusion. Correct? Knowledge is to remove ignorance. That's the knowledge means it should remove your ignorance of something. Knowledge means that which should remove your ignorance and reveal something. That is what knowledge is. Correct? Now, what is the delusion that it removes? Kanchana and Kamini. The delusion about Kanchana and Kamini is removed. The person is still stuck. Like Dukran Karne means a person is still stuck in the delusion of Kanchana and Kamini. Are you able to follow now? A person is still stuck in that delusion. For a human being who is stuck in that delusion, he starts off with a very powerful statement. What is a powerful statement? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Udamate. At least Krishna rarely uses this Mudaha, Pramudaha, Vimudaha and all. But 95% of the time he will use Bhardarishaba, Arjuna, Kaunteya. Daring terms he uses. He uses lot of terms which is like so, which is endearing. Those kind of terms he uses. He will never start with Mudamate, even though he would have also started like that. Even though he would have wished to start like that. But why he can't start like that? Krishna still didn't know whether Arjuna is going to surrender or not. Shankara is having a benefit of a set of students who have already surrendered to him. Krishna still doesn't know whether Arjuna will surrender or not. Supposing Arjuna didn't surrender, what can Krishna do? He will find somebody and he will continue the war. That he will not stop. So he was waiting for Arjuna to surrender, and even after surrendering, Arjuna is still testing. He was still testing. I fully trust you, Krishna, but why don't you explain it to me? Remember, when you are seeking explanation, you don't trust. When you are seeking explanation, you are seeking explanation so that you can develop trust. For a person who has developed trust, a command is enough. That's why I said, after trusting a doctor, the mere prescription is enough. Mere prescription is enough. And if the doctor says, nothing can be done, remove the plug, what will you do? You will remove the plug also, isn't it? You will remove the plug too there. Why? Because the trust has come. Therefore, Arjuna is still seeking a lot of explanations, clarity, etc. because he still not developed the trust. In the case of Shankara's benefit here is, there is a bunch of students who have already surrendered to him and following him wherever he goes. Disciples will be in the same place. Guru has to go from place to place. Visa, ticket, travel, isn't it? See, there was a time where Guru used to be in one place and all the Sishyas will come. And then another place. What? The Sishyas will be in the respective place. Guru will go from place to place. Adayar, Aparna. Idli, Sambar, isn't it? Idli, Sambar, Adayar, Ella. Now, adum worst. Guru can stay in his place. Students also can stay in the respective places. Zoom porum, sir, isn't it? Online is enough. Idhil innatha prescription, innatha solradhu, isn't it? What prescription can be? What surrender? What prescription? What can be told? Now, Shankara, not only he was moving from place to place, all his groups will move with him place to place. Not only he was moving, the group of students were also constantly moving with him. Yeah. அவர் போறாருன்னு அவருக்கு வேற வேலை இல்லை, இவங்களுக்கும் வேற வேலை இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன், isn't it? They were also going. Now, when you have that set of a student, Shankara took the liberty. What is the liberty? Mudamate. A foolish fellow. He is not calling that grammarian foolish. Don't be a fool like him, telling his students. Shankara showing him, don't become like him. He is not insulting that grammarian because he has got nothing to do with that. He is saying, calling his bunch of students, telling them, remember the purpose of you coming to me. Remember the purpose of you walking along with me. For what? Don't get carried away by my scholarliness. Don't get carried away by my teachings. Don't get carried away by my explanations. Don't get carried away by all that. All this is like the plant and leaf to the food. அது கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இல்லை சார். We need a more, because we are all educated, refined people here. We need a better example. Pole vault. Pole vault is a better, not better example. Concept is the same. You use it and then you drop it. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrin Karne. That's why it is going to remove the moha mudgaraha. It is going to remove the delusion. What is the delusion that it is going to remove? The delusion of Dukrin Karne, mundane activities. And why the human being is so caught up in that mundane activities? Not having the proper knowledge of Kanchana and Kamini. Deluded because of not having the right knowledge of Kanchana and Kamini, the human being is so caught up. Moha Mudgara is a textbook that is going to save us from this moha. This is the first verse, chorus, Bhaja Govindam. Traditionally, after every verse, they will sing the first verse. We will not do it like that in our classes. We'll go verse 1, verse 2, verse... don't, oh my God, again we'll come back to after verse 1. Again, we will study the same explanation, even though I like to do it like that, but we don't do it like that. So this first verse is the chorus. Next week, we'll continue with verse number 2 onwards. With this, we conclude for today.